Hey, this is really funny. Fox News propagandist Laura Ingraham realizes while interviewing potential Green Party presidential contender Cornel West that he may indeed help Donald Trump become elected president of the United States. Yes, even Laura Ingraham realizes the best that Cornel West can hope to do is to become a spoiler. Now, remember, the Green Party, at last I checked, isn't even on the ballot in all 50 states. And indeed, they can't really mount a viable campaign for the presidency unless you believe that a write-in candidacy has the chance of getting you 270 electoral votes. But what the Green Party and Cornel West could do is get just enough of the vote in a few key states that it flips would-be Biden states to Trump or DeSantis or whoever is the eventual authoritarian Republican nominee. Laura Ingraham realizes this, and she presents Cornel West with the realization, the idea, the reality that he may be a spoiler candidate. Check this out.
So how could a third-party candidate stack up in a general? Well, take a look at this poll from Emerson.
Right.
In a head-to-head matchup between Trump and Biden, they're tied, the two candidates at 44%. But when you add in Cornel West, well, he becomes a spoiler, knocking them both down, 42% Trump and 41% Biden.
No, I'm here in my beloved Oklahoma, where I was born, but thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this conversation on my way to Mississippi for the Emmett Till event for the Precious family, dealing with Brother Jenkins and Brother Parker, dealing with police brutality. It's a blessing to be on your show tonight, my dear sister.
It's great to see you, Dr. West. I mentioned this when we lost you for whatever it was, 30 seconds. Your ballot access, just the nuts and bolts of running for president, you're in fewer than 20 states right now. So given that fact, which is a pretty big one, why wouldn't you just run as a Democrat? Because Green Party ballot access is so low right now.
Okay, what she's saying is you can't possibly win. So why are you doing this?
Oh, no, we are on the move. I'm telling you, the brother Rick and others on the move. We're on 20. We'll be on 13. We'll be in 13 by December. And some of the states you can't begin until January, as you know. And
word salad.
Unfortunately, you got major impediments because both parties make it difficult for third parties, which is very sad. It shows how the two-party system is an impediment for American voices to come to terms with the 63% of fellow citizens living paycheck to paycheck.
So listen, everyone should realize the cynical motivations of Laura Ingraham having Cornel West on. And I'm with Bernie on this one. And Laura Ingraham, I mean, good for her in some sense. She actually asks West again, do you realize the impact that this could have? And it's these word salad platitudes.
There is concern in Democrat circles, Dr. West, that your candidacy, which is interesting to a lot of people, would actually potentially throw the election to a Republican and force Joe Biden into the loser column. What would you say to that? And how would you feel about that if that's ultimately what happened?
I would say that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are not entitled to any votes. They have to earn those votes. And most of the votes that I will get are voters, fellow citizens who would not vote for either Republicans or Democrats. And keep in mind, my dear sister, 40% of our precious citizens don't vote at all. And I'm going to them as well as those in the Democratic Party, as well as the Republican Party. So it's a matter of ensuring that the Negro National Anthem, lift every voice, lift every vote. Democrats have no ownership over any vote.
Now, of course, it is absolutely true. Nobody gets to assume any votes. Democrats have no ownership of votes and Republicans don't either. And also, any reasonable person would evaluate the system we have, which is first past the post and not a ranked choice or single transferable vote system. If that were the case, this would be completely different. You rank your candidates. You say, I prefer Cornel West, but if he's not viable, then I want Joe Biden. Problem solved. We don't have that system. Any normal person would look at this and say, okay, the worst possible outcome is an authoritarian like Trump or DeSantis or whoever else becoming president of the United States. That's the worst outcome. I can't, in good conscience, behave in a way that would make that worst outcome more likely. Or at least I would feel bad if I did that. That's me. I would feel bad if I acted in a way that made a Trump or DeSantis presidency more likely. So of course, Cornel West can run. He's not, nobody's entitled to votes. He can go after the non-voters. He can go after independents. He can go after Trump voters, Biden voters. He can do all of that. But it is a mathematical reality that he can't win. They don't have the ballot access, but he might be able to swing this from Joe Biden to Donald Trump. He might actually be able to do that. And you might come back to me and say, David, that's not his problem. And I would say, you're absolutely right. If he doesn't care about that, then he can do whatever the hell he wants. But I'm a progressive. And the last thing I want is another 4 years of an authoritarian lunatic. So I'm going with what progressive Bernie Sanders had to say about this over the weekend in that interview with CNN. We looked at clips yesterday. I'm with Bernie. You do whatever you want. Cornel West can do whatever he wants. But the best he can hope for in terms of influence is giving us another 4 years of an authoritarian lunatic like Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis. At the end of the day, I don't even think he'll have that impact. I actually don't. But we will see. And that is the risk. Laura Ingraham knows it and she loves it. And that's why she's giving Cornel West attention.